With my old pontoon boat sitting on the ice for the winter, I thought it would be a good time to renovate it. I started by taking off the side panels, which was fairly simple. I just had to bend them back and forth until eventually the screws busted off. The boat is about 50 years old, so those bolts weren't going to last much longer. I slid underneath the pontoon boat to get rid of some of the old wiring and some of those cables that were used for the steering wheel. I'm not going to have a steering wheel in this boat when I'm done, so I didn't need any of that anymore. I wasn't able to take off the edging with the bolts, so I had to cut them off, which ended up being fairly easy too. And then I was able to get to the carpet, remove the old blue carpeting, which came off fairly easy. I think maybe because the glue was froze that it scraped off, pretty simple. And the foundation underneath, or the base, was in fairly decent shape, so it was a good starting point for the rebuild. I extended the base out 4 feet with decking boards to give us a swim platform. I bolted down this extension to the old transom to give it some stability. Well, hopefully enough stability. That extra deck space is going to be nice for trolling when the time comes. And it's nice to have the deck space for a diving board too, because every pontoon boat needs a diving board. Forget having a decent motor or steering wheel, the important thing is a diving board. I ended up scrapping the old aluminum sides, and basically with the money that I got for the aluminum, I was able to buy the wood to finish the project. The only problem is I had to actually finish the project. And some of this stuff putting together the side rails was a little bit putsy, but they did come together fairly easy, and it wasn't like it was too complicated. I used just regular treated 2x4s and then treated 1x6s or 1x4s for the side panels. I wonder if those people caught any fish in the background. Screwing in all the boards is kind of time consuming, but it's definitely going to be worth it when we got the pontoon boat ready and I can get out on the water and outfish my brother again. And that only happened once. The first side went in place fairly smooth, but I really like this video because in the background you can see I'm making some maple syrup. My first time making it all the way through by myself. My maple syrup turned out better than what the pontoon boat did. If you're interested in maple syrup making, I do have a boring video on that too that you can check out. It is a fun time. Screwing all these boards, not as much fun. I was happy with the looks of the first side, so I moved on to the other side. This space that's enclosed is really not that big. It's only 12 feet long and the typical pontoon boat width of about 8 feet. So it's not a huge pontoon boat, and we really just use it for trolling around the lake in the summertime. But it is going to be nice that I'm going to have the project ready in time for summer. Maybe you can see in the video how the ice is melting. Well, actually it was kind of melting and then it would freeze up again. I had to go up to the cabin and work on this over the course of 5 weekends, I believe. There was a nice change in weather throughout the weeks working on the pontoon boat as we moved out of winter. The back bench is going to be a perfect spot for laying down, or we can sit facing forward or sit facing backwards as we go trolling. Seems like most of the boards that you get now are warped, so I had to do a little bit of prying to get them in place. And that was pretty much it for the framing of the pontoon boat. It seems like it's going to be sturdy enough. Maybe in the future, if it's not, I can always add a little bit more wood. I wasn't going to be able to stain or paint the treated wood right away because it comes so wet. So I decided that I would just burn it I wanted to go with a darker look anyways, and just going around with the blowtorch was pretty easy. And it's way more fun than painting. I eventually switched over to a little bit bigger flame than this. Maybe in the future, once the wood dries, I'll go and put a layer of stain over the top of this, kind of make those lighter areas pop a little bit. I was thinking of using a colored stain even over it. But for right now, I just have the black from burning it, and I think it's a pretty cool look. Plus, we came up with a cool pontoon boat name, Burnt Out. If you think of a better pontoon boat name, let me know. I drilled some holes in the floor before I put the carpet in. I thought with having holes that water would drain out easier, but maybe that's not a great idea because those holes create a space for water to get into the wood. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But laying down the carpet went fairly smooth. I just ended up cutting a regular outdoor carpet to width and rolled it out. The best thing about using the burn method to finish the wood is that other people are always willing to help out. No one volunteers to help paint. I got it finished up just in time as the ice melted off the lake. For my furniture on the pontoon boat, I just decided to use folding chairs because pontoon furniture always goes to shit anyways. Out the back, I ended up with just the trolling motor that I had before, and I placed the battery in my secret storage compartment below. I added a solar panel to make charging the battery easy, and a diving board makes a perfect captain's chair. Thanks if you're still watching. I hope you found this build somewhat enjoyable to watch. I can't imagine that anyone else out there would ever tear apart their pontoon boat and turn it into a wooden pontoon boat. But if you do, now you have a little guide. The last thing I have to check out is the diving board. Not because I want to, because it is still just April 12th in Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin. The water temperature is around 36 degrees. But I have to jump in to beat last year's record and to beat my kids. It's very important. Maybe I don't have to. Well, here goes nothing. You can stop watching now and go check out some of my cool camper renovation videos. Or you can watch this tree fall down, because watching trees fall down is always awesome. Thanks for watching.